All right, good evening. The time being 6:31 p.m., I hereby call this meeting of the Hanson Conservation Commission to order on Monday, May 18th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. This meeting of the Hanson Conservation Commission is now open under the State Wetland Protection Act, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Hanson Local Bylaw, Article 3-13, Section 5. This opening statement will apply for all business conducted at this meeting. As per standard procedure, this meeting of the Hanson Conservation Commission is being audio recorded. We'll start with a roll call of the members present, starting to my left.
Steve Smith.
Ed Heel.
Dave Mansfield.
TJ Rofi.
Erica Adams.
Frank Skellinger.
So we do have 4 of the 5 seated commissioners with us this evening, as well as 100% of our office staff. Turning our attention to the posted agenda for this evening, the first item of business for 6:30 p.m. is a notice of intent for 84 Liberty Street. Do we have a public hearing notice to read, Mr. Hill?
I believe this is it. The Hanson Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Monday, May 18th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the Hanson Town Hall Select Board's Meeting Room, 542 Liberty Street, Hanson, Massachusetts, pursuant to a notice of intent by Timothy McQuarrie. Parcel and project. Request to construct 2 7,400 square foot buildings with associated parking lot, grading, and stormwater management system within 100 feet of a bordering vegetated wetland resource area located at 84 Liberty Street, map 91, lot 12-1R and 2. The applicant is filing under Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, Massachusetts General Law 131, Section 40, and the Town of Hanson Wetlands Protection Act, Protection Bylaw 3-13, Section 5, and Rules and Regulations. The Hanson Conservation Commission, Thomas F. Rofi, Chair.
Thank you. I see on the agenda that we had not yet received a DEP number for this project. Does that remain the case?
That's true. Okay. Yes, DEP requested additional documents yesterday, and they were sent out today to DEP by the engineer.
Is anyone here from the public to speak on 84 Liberty Street? And I assume if they're awaiting further review by DEP, they don't really have much for us at the moment.
No, they don't. They still have not responded to the comments.
Okay. So do we want...
They did ask for continuance.
Next meeting or 2 meetings?
June 1st.
June 1st? Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else on the agenda yet for June 1st?
Yes, but I put that one for 6:30.
Put this one for 6:30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then the chair would entertain a motion to continue the hearing to Monday, June 1st at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion passes 4-0-0. Next up on the agenda is a request for certificate of compliance for 1282 Main Street, map 43, lot 62. Dr. Skellinger, any advice, insight you'd like to share with us?
This request is for an expired order of conditions for Tracy White's project down at Lockwood. And the engineer has presented an as-built drawing, which is different from what was approved at the time, and so he's attempting to justify that. And we've had the documents reviewed by a peer reviewer, Mr. Brennan. There are a number of outstanding issues, and Mr. James is planning to be with us on June 1st.
Who's the engineer for the original project?
He is.
Which he? Sorry, you referenced
James.
him. Okay.
It was begun by Webby, but James took it over before it was approved, and that was back in 2015.
Which lightly expired.
Yes, it expired in 2019. So
We should postpone this then until
next
Mr.
time,
James is with us.
yes.
Okay.
He promises to be back next time.
Okay. It's not a hearing, so I don't think we need a vote, right?
No, we don't need to vote.
Okay. So we will table the discussion on 1282 Main Street Certificate of Compliance for project 175-0666 until Monday, June 1st. Which brings us to the next item on our agenda, which is a citizen complaint for 72 Tavern Way. So I will request for the nature of the audio recording that you identify yourselves when you speak, just so that when poor Erica has to type this all up, she knows who said what. And if we can, I'm sure we all have a lot to say. If we can, one at a time, and allow everyone to finish what they have to say so we can discuss and address instead of trying to talk over each other. So, does anyone want to start?
I'll start. First, my name is Polly Pritchard. I live at 62 Tavern Way, right next door to the kerfuffle. I would like to throw it back at you all and ask what is being done about the obvious violation of wetlands in our neighborhood. And I might just preface this with the last meeting we attended, Kevin Perkins being there and requested a variance for the outbuilding
ADU.
from 900 square feet on. And I was absolutely appalled at the blinders that everyone has apparently in this township. I have some experience being on a planning board, and if I had had as many people show up questioning a candidate as you all had last time, it would have been tabled like that. And instead, I think it was the building inspector who said, well, what I see in front of me is all I can go by. And I'm thinking, what you see in front of you are witnesses to what we know has been a complete violation of our wonderful wetlands. Years and years we've been hearing how we need to preserve our wetlands and how important they are, and I naively assumed that all this trucking and all this construction was totally supervised by the conservation agent, having an experience with Dr. Skellinger in that I was putting in a small pool, not in the wetlands, but in the border area, and it took me a year to get all my T's crossed. And here, Kevin Perkins waltzes in, nothing is reported to the town. Now, mind you, I understand Hanson is a mega metropolis and you can't possibly know what's going on. But shame on you all that this happened under your watch and no one caught it. And even after I repeatedly met with Dr. Skellinger and told him what was happening, I have no proof, said Dr. Skellinger. Am I right?
Yes.
And I couldn't believe he was saying that. He has no proof. He was on my property several times, checking out the wetlands. My engineers came and had wetlands. They even had showing wetlands off my property. And he has no proof. And I'm thinking, oh, you referred to the government maps quite frequently, saying that this is all wetlands. And so to my total amazement, all of a sudden I'm getting this, we have no proof that there were wetlands there because Mr. Perkins trucked in hundreds of truckfuls of fill. I mean, trucks all day long, and that's not my complaint. My complaint are the wetlands, and I want to make that clear. I'm not complaining that he's building. I'm not complaining of the dirt and the smell of the gas. I'm not complaining of those things. I want the same standards that were applied to me certainly should be stricter or more strict for Kevin Perkins, the builder. And I'm furious that here we are in Hanson, everyone, and if you want to do some building, just hurry up and do the building, and then cover your tracks, and then come to the town and ask for all kinds of whatever he's been asking for. It's appalling to me. And I would like some accountability from the town and from Mr. Perkins.
All right, so this was actually brought to us previously through me. Actually, somebody outside of here asked me to bring it up. When I did, I brought that up, and I believe Dr. Skellinger, with the answer to that was that basically all of the work that he was doing was just a smidge outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. He very carefully maneuvered it through the delineated wetlands map so that he was just outside of our jurisdiction and we can't act. No, I understand you shaking your head. I'm saying the official delineated wetlands map, I've seen it myself, and the work that he's doing is just outside of it.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Okay. I've spoken with Laura Kempt.
Yeah.
And she has seen the maps, and she said, definitely wetlands. My engineers...
Which maps are you referring to? The delineated wetlands map or the GIS map?
GIS map.
That's unofficial.
Okay. My engineers definitely had wetlands, so he is not he's way into that border area. If not, well, I know it's wetlands, but anyway. But
Let's all take a field trip.
But no, here's the thing. He destroyed the wetlands. He built that entire area up with these hundreds of truckloads. And then he scraped all the vegetation, which is indicative of the wetlands, which I have all over my property and my neighbor has. And the in-between land that he's using, totally absent of any proof. So when Dr. Skellinger says, I have no proof, if you go out there and look, there isn't a blade of grass there. And he keeps putting more on. So I am witness to this. My daughter is witness. I'm sure we have several witnesses showing just what he did. So how can you say you don't have any proof?
Because that's not proof. The only proof that's acceptable is the official wetland scientist delineation map.
Okay.
And Dr. Skellinger, was that a recently drawn map, or do you know?
Brooke Monroe went out recently and redelineated behind Mrs. Pritchard's property, and the line is clearly more than 100 feet away from Perkins' property.
How was the
Behind us.
Hold on.
Behind us.
Hold on, allow me to
next
reply.
to us.
Allow me to reply. So all I'm trying to say though is, I'd love to help you. I really would. Like what I'm saying is that our jurisdiction ends at the 100 feet away from what is an officially delineated buffer
when
zone.
was the buffer zone created?
Recently, they're valid for 3 years, and it was done recently.
So recently, so he could have changed everything,
No,
and
the
then
buffer-
you went in and
No, the buffer zone is based on the position of the wetlands, not any action he took. It's prior to him doing that. So,
So when was that map created? What was the date on that?
do you know the date on that?
Brooke went out on March 19th, and I received Webby's plan on April the 28th.
Wait,
Okay, so that's within this year. So that's within this year.
So
They're
we were
valid for 3
creating.
years.
So for the last. So because you didn't have your
Miss.
pool done this year.
We need a name.
Denise
Sorry.
Connors,
Thank you.
42 Tavern Lane. You didn't have your pool this year. So a year ago, there were wetlands there, and now all of a sudden, this year, the wetlands are gone, and we're saying, oh, it just, poof, they just changed?
Well, the delineation that was done for her property is not what's for his property, but what the
The one
delineation still
is
included the area.
when he bought the house,
March.
he bought the house years ago. He bought the house 4 years ago?
Yes, but the delineation, he's
So
just
the
told you it's
delineation,
March.
but the delineation for wetland, right, because he's been busting all this, bringing
So,
all this.
just
But
to clarify, the building permit for the property was issued last July. He cleared it at some point in 2025. So any delineation that was done in 2026 would be after the work that the residents are referring to.
Right.
Okay, thank you. That I did not know that.
So the building permit was issued in, I forget the date offhand, in July of 2025. It was brought to our attention previously in December, and the information that we had at the time, based on the wetlands that we know to be there, the work he's performing is outside the 100-foot buffer.
Okay.
So it's more or less that we beg for forgiveness and not ask for permission, because he kind of did everything and then came and said, oh, let's look at where the wetlands are.
Ma'am,
A better way of putting it would be guilty until innocent until proven guilty. We have to prove that there was a wetland there before we could do anything.
But that's what I'm asking, and I understand.
When the building
What I'm
permit-
asking is, so was there ever a wetland delineation for any of Tavern Way that before that date? So say in 2020, do you have notice of any of, do we have to go out and do that at any time? Is that always recorded, or is that not a?
The commission does not perform
Okay,
wetlands
all right. So
delineations.
until someone goes and
So
does something, you're
we
not
have-
checking a wetland. Is that?
That is correct. Wetlands,
Okay.
they're performed. If you wanted to develop a property,
Fair enough.
you would pay out of your pocket
Okay.
to do the delineation and then bring it to us.
After you've already ruined the wetlands.
So the
Yes.
wetlands that we have on file out there are the wetlands that were delineated in conjunction with Mrs. Pritchard's originally addition and then pool. The project had 2 iterations. And so those wetlands were delineated, and those are the wetlands that were redelineated by Miss Monroe, correct?
She went out back
Yeah.
and delineated what was left.
So at the time that the building permit was filed, if for any building permit in town, it goes to all of the land use boards in town. And so Conservation received this application for a building permit, reviewed what we knew to be out there, and signed off on the
Is this
building.
for the 5 lot property, or is this like which permit are we looking at this point? Like which building are we talking for him?
Mr. Perkins,
It's all one parcel of land, right?
no. Mr. Perkins built 2 houses back there.
So sorry, yes, not the one that's already sold and occupied.
Okay.
The one that is under
One
construction.
that's being built.
That building permit was sent to this office in July, and based on
Mr. Webby had a plan for the project which showed no wetlands until you get all the way back.
so furthest north end of the property, furthest from Tavern Way, was delineated as wetlands.
Is this, can I speak, Stephanie Pasco, 62 Tavern Way, home and house that we're kind of talking about? Was this when Mr. Perkins was on the board, when he submitted this?
Mr. Perkins has not been on the Conservation Commission in the 6 years I've been here.
But was he on any health or any sort of?
He was on the Board of Health until Saturday. He was on the ZBA previously. I forget what year that all went down.
Okay.
But it's been
Some long time ago,
2 or 3 years.
at least.
I think we have a little disconnect here. I don't know anything about the house going up back there. I'm strictly speaking of the highway going through my neighbor and our land. And that's where he violated the wetlands. That entire area has been, since you've lived there, marshy. Couldn't even walk to our neighbor's house. We would have to go around it. It was so marshy. All kinds of plants that defined that this was wetlands. And Frank, please come up with, you know I'm right. You know this was wetlands.
There's always been a driveway there.
There was a
Since
path.
before you were.
There was a path there, and
Well,
it still is. There still is a path.
Yeah.
But around that, total wetlands. It was marshy most of the year. It dried out in July and August, and that's the only time. But when you came to my house and you saw how wet that area is,
No, I was looking at the wetland behind you. And that's-
no,
that's
that has nothing to do with what my concern is. It is next to my property that, of course, if an engineer came out now, they would find absolutely nothing.
The
And I'm
engine-
here to tell you that there was wetlands.
The engineer who went out there before it was
Yes, and they
done.
found wetlands.
did not find any wetlands. The plan that we reviewed for Mr. Perkins had no wetlands on
What was
the
the
Well,
date of
then
that?
they were remiss because my engineer, Morse Engineering, found wetlands even outside of our property.
You said,
So how is that? And you've lived here a while. You and I talked about the wetlands. You know there were wetlands there.
I do not know that.
You don't know that.
Well,
Shame on you.
well, Phil
Okay.
Lyman would, I mean, we could certainly, I
Yeah.
mean, he has, knowledge.
But he's not an engineer.
Well,
So we have Morris Engineer, and Webby has come up. I heard Webby. I did some research on Webby. Is that the only engineer that you guys are able to listen to in terms of these sort of delineations? Because
No, so I don't think Mr. Webby actually does his own
you
delineations,
said
does he?
Brooke
He
did, right?
hasn't done.
Yeah, he's
You're right. He's an engineer. He's not a wetland scientist. He subcontracts
The
that
reason
work.
that you hear Webby is because that's the engineer that Mr. Perkins has.
Right. So Mr. Webby was hired by Mr. Perkins to do the engineering for the project in question.
But
So
he didn't-
he oversaw the drawings that were the civil land drawings. I don't believe Mr. Webby does architecture.
And you said Brooke was the scientist for this one that Webby did?
Was it Brooke both times? Do you know offhand?
I think so.
I mean,
So
there's not a
Webby would look at the
plethora of
plans.
wetland scientists. We have a kind of small contingent that we hear from regularly.
so
Mr. Perkins hired Mr. Webby. Mr. Webby hired a wetland scientist to go out and delineate the property. The plan that scientist provided to Mr. Webby and through him to us only identified wetlands at the north end of the property.
And
that's
when
dated
was
this
that?
year? Yeah.
That was before the building permit was issued, so it would have been last spring probably.
So he has been putting this soil on for a long time. So we're telling you, we're telling you
what are you going to do?
that he has violated this.
Well, what I don't understand though, so you're saying that the area was a full-blown marsh or something like
Yes.
this. Marsh. Hold on, allow me to finish. What I'm saying though is, how wide did he make this thing? Because if you're saying that it's like that, then there would still be wetland to the left or right of it.
There are my property.
So right now, I could go out there and go see the wetland.
Absolutely.
Have you gone out and seen that?
And
I didn't see any wetlands.
We'll send you pics.
why are you like you were just out there?
You don't have wetlands until you have trees. So all of that, all of that property that
Hold
you
on,
have,
Ladies.
Allow him to finish, please.
all of that property you have grassed doesn't have wetlands.
Why am I within the 60 feet or whatever it is?
100 feet
100
of
feet.
the wetland behind your property.
Right, then that's all wetlands.
Behind your property is true.
But that's
You
what
even
he's,
have
That's what I'm talking about.
that's what he's building. But also,
Behind the property or to the side of the property?
I'm
So
talking about the road that he has put through.
The property that Mr.
property
Perkins
is-
Hold on, hold on.
Mrs. Pritchard, please.
Sorry.
So the property that Mr. Perkins owns is a retreat lot.
Okay.
With
What does that mean?
Behind another property. A path going out behind somebody else.
right, so he has enough street frontage to meet the legal minimum, I think by like 6 inches.
Okay.
It's not much, but he has the street frontage on Tavern Way of approximately 40 feet, which is the minimum required for a buildable lot.
Yeah.
He has built a dirt, gravel, stone driveway into the property because the driveway is between 60 64, 62, I forget.
It depends on what, 64, 62.
And I think 80 is the next house number.
Yes.
And it goes back. So you have 64, the driveway, 80, 82, which is the house that Mr. Perkins previously built, which is also a retreat lot. And then this particular house is behind all of that. And
And how many
down
houses are still
west.
going in? Well, we're pushing, there's like 4 houses going in there, right?
I'm not 100% sure off.
And I don't,
So if I understand this right, then that means he's got, if this is the road right here, he has a road going back to his retreat lot somewhere up here, and then Miss Pritchard lives here.
Miss Pritchard lives to the right of the driveway if you look at it.
As you fit, so, all right, so she's right here.
Yes.
So what's right here then?
House number
To the left of the driveway is somebody else's house.
There's another
yeah.
house, yeah.
And then
Okay. So
after that is 82, which is another retreat lot
Yeah.
previously built by Mr. Perkins.
So then the wetlands that she's referring to behind her property would be somewhere
Not
presumably in this
behind.
area. Hold on. Talk.
So the delineated wetlands on file
Yeah.
are behind Mrs. Pritchard's property.
Which would,
Mrs.
be, which would be to the left of that would be the driveway
To
that she's
the
mentioning.
correct.
Okay.
To
But
the
they're
best
over on
of my
this side,
kno-
not this side.
To the best of my knowledge, the plan that was provided to us in conjunction with Mrs. Pritchard's project did not delineate any wetlands to the west of her property, which is where Mr.
Towards the
Perkins'
road.
driveway is.
Okay.
But by that point, when you did that, there was already
No.
the driveway that he had created that he
No,
had put.
no.
Oh, that
But
wasn't-
what I have from Morse Engineering shows wetlands all across there. So how is it that you don't have what I have?
Is it the wetlands or is it the 50-foot buffer? 'Cause
No,
that does
it shows the wetlands with the cute
do we
little
have that on file?
wetlands.
Yeah, we approved her project like 16 months ago.
No, I understand. I'm saying.
So
do we have-
I'm somewhere, I don't know if we have it with us tonight, but we have that drawing in the office for sure.
Okay.
Oh, I should have brought that. Brought it to-
Or maybe Frank has it. Okay.
Here's the Webby one.
Is that the same one?
No, one is, so this is the one from Webby for Mr. Perkins' project. So Miss Pritchard lives here. Mr. Perkins' street frontage is right here. This is the Sayers at 80. Sayers. This is 82, which is the lot that Mr. Perkins already built.
Okay. So where does the driveway is?
The driveway's right here.
Right there. Okay. And where's the wetlands that she delineated? Or is that not? That's hers, right?
Is the pond still back there? Wasn't there a pond back there? There was a pond.
Well, there's a pond down line.
Well, that's on the line, yes. That's
I mean, that shows wetlands flags.
Yeah. This is where it would be, right?
Yeah.
That is.
So, I mean, that's a.
Frank, can I get your opinion on looking at this? You have a second?
I'm sorry?
On here, unless I'm looking at this completely wrong.
And this is when she was building the addition of the pool.
This was from April of 2023.
So that's the pool.
No, it would have been the addition that
Yeah.
got turned into a pool.
Yeah, it's she was doing something. We haven't mapped it.
Right. Mrs. Pritchard has run, and her daughter have been before us twice. Once for an addition that then turned into
We
the
make
pool.
sure
that's
all our
currently there.
permits and everything. Yes, we've been.
Who's South River Environmental? Is that Brooke?
No. No, it's John Zimmer.
So here's his wet, or there, whoever it was.
This is Mrs. Pritchard.
No, I know, but I mean, this is the delineation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm reading
That's the wetlands.
if I'm reading the overlay of these two maps, the road is
The road is right up to the edge of Mrs. Pritchard's property.
Right. the ground
Yeah.
here.
Which, so
would align with what she said.
you can see that it's, like I said, like 40 feet and 6 inches at the street, and then narrows to just enough for the driveway.
So that's 312 feet back, which is there. This is there. 312.
That would certain, no, 312 is, I think, the whole.
What's this then? Because this says 131 right here. No, this says, wait a minute, this says 361. That says 312.
Okay.
So that
So
would
that
be,
must be whatever this is.
this first one is going to be this right here, right? This is this. Right?
No, I think this is the property line. I think the 312 feet is 312 feet.
Oh, well,
Okay.
to here?
So this is her property here.
I think that's the back of
Yeah.
So you think that's this?
Mrs. Pritchard's daughter's
Yes.
property. I forget. I'm
All right.
sorry, I forget your name.
Well, if that's the case, then this is down here someplace.
Right. So this is Tavern Way,
Right,
which is here,
right.
and
But if this 312 is not this, it's this instead, then that means that this is down here someplace.
I mean either way, like this is that property line.
Right.
Yeah.
That certainly.
But,
I mean, I'm not an engineer, but that.
Yeah, there's a
that's
slight.
not. This isn't straight. So
This isn't straight. That,
So these-
that-
these-
this line right here is that line right there.
Yeah. Right.
Her map is blown up closer.
Yeah. 312 is that.
Right. Which brings us to here.
That's this. Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So this kind of equidistant would be approximately
Somewhere
where it
in
is.
there. That's right.
Right. And so this. I guess it's wider than I realized. That says it's 90 feet. But if that's 90 feet wide there, and there's
it's narrower.
wetland flags somewhere around here,
Yeah.
you couldn't be, by my understanding of this, you couldn't be 100 feet away.
This comes in here and turns that way.
We don't have where the rest of the line goes.
Yeah. I know that's the problem. But what I'm saying though,
Right,
is that
because her
I mean, this, so,
scientist didn't go into the neighbor's yard.
But what we can say is that this is less than 50 feet.
I mean, yeah, this, if this is a wetlands flag from
no,
2023,
TJ, he's not 90 feet off the line. It's 90 feet total. He's down the center of the 90. He's like 40.
he's got 90 feet wide. It's 90 feet.
Yeah, I say he's 90 feet, so it's from the line.
Right.
He's about 45 to the, well, actually less than that because whatever the width of the road is takes up some of that 90.
Right, but if he's got 90 feet there and it gets narrower, he can't be 100 feet. He can't be 100 feet from the property line.
Yeah.
And this
Who
drawing,
did this? Did anybody do any flags on this one? I mean, there aren't any flags, obviously.
Well,
because
yeah,
it's
the
covered in-
accusation is that this map is a couple
Accurately
years old.
controlled,
Right.
Then at some point he filled it in and then called in to get a wetland delineation after he'd already filled the wetland.
so I mean, this
Do I understand that correctly? That's the
Exactly.
accusation is that
Yes.
that he filled the wetland, then hired the scientist to delineate the wetland?
so the
Okay.
the plan that was presented by Webby says that there are 11.69 acres of uplands and 8.15 acres of wetlands. So there's no flags on here, but there is a acknowledgement that there's wet portions of the property, which throughout we've all been aware that this northern end of the property
Yeah.
is wet. There's a reason. There's multiple reasons, but that is one of them. That he's wetlands are here, 50 foot, 100 foot. That's why he hugged the front.
Yeah.
This is his 100-foot offset line to be outside what was flagged by his engineer.
But what he's not talking about is this side, according to this thing.
I might add that when my engineers had to call in special wetlands engineers, there were pink flags everywhere. And when Frank had said that Perkins engineers were going to come out and put flags on, and probably some on my property. Well, I didn't see anything for ages, so I walked the trail behind me, and there were two flags right over a creek, and those are the only indications that we have.
Mr. Perkins' delineation was January of 2023, so it actually predates Mrs. Perkins. Sorry, I apologize, Mrs. Pritchard. It predates the delineation for Mrs. Pritchard's property.
But I thought you said that one didn't have delineation of wetlands.
I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
It does show the wetlands in the back. It's not in color, so I got distracted.
Beyond where he's doing the work.
The argument is down here. We don't have.
Yeah, they're not worried about the
road is
house,
your
it's the
main
driveway.
The driveway.
Right. So the plan that was provided with Mr. Perkins' application shows this wetland area here and this wetland area here in the back, and this 100-foot buffer that he stayed in front of.
But it doesn't show.
It does
coming
not
down
show
like this.
anything along the side of Mrs. Pritchard's property.
Right.
But the idea being that right to the right of his road, there should be wetlands.
Yeah, if I follow this little line right here that literally goes off onto the other side of the property, that would be right here. And it would at the very least put him within the 50 foot, if not in the wetland itself.
But what I'm saying is if his road is here, somebody should have seen wetlands there. Because this is on the wetlands scientist, right?
But he had
You're
filled
talking about
that
the
in.
GIS map?
No.
Well, no, I mean we have two different delineations performed by two different
And
people.
that must be relatively common, or can be common. I mean, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be wetland plants, wetland soil, and then upland soil. But
Well, we already know there's a house here, right? Isn't that what we just said?
That's the
TJ, just clarify a point. You said that we were mistaken and that this actually predates the felling?
the date on this is January 17th of 23.
Okay,
and
so that predates the felling.
Mrs. Pritchard's date was April 5th of 23. So I don't know
Predates her
when.
plan.
Those are the wetland delineation dates. I can't speak to.
So
when.
that was before. That was okay. That was when this. Okay.
This plan.
This is-
Mr. Perkins' plan was done 3 months,
Prior.
a touch under 3 months before the plan that was done for Mrs. Pritchard and her daughter.
So we have two wetlands scientists basically.
Disagree.
Well, we don't know if they disagree or not because we can't tell because this one doesn't show the wetlands in the other property and vice versa.
Yeah, except for that this part right here is on his property, not
But it
hers.
comes right down there. Yeah.
We're
shows it
we're
going.
guessing at where else it might have gone because it's
Yeah.
not on the plan.
Yeah, what I'm saying though,
What?
is that this would then extend out
Oh, we don't
here.
know that.
So can I ask one question, because I can't see anything that you have there?
Sorry.
Is the plan that you're saying is from January 2023, does that show the property of where that driveway is, or does his show behind?
It shows the whole property.
You can look
It
at it.
You can go take a look.
So it shows his gravel driveway right here.
Okay, okay,
Mrs. Pritchard's house would be right here.
okay. The Saces
The
are
Sace is
there.
right here.
Okay.
The first house Mr. Perkins built is this this pork chop lot.
Okay.
But can I ask a question? You said gravel driveway. I'm Janet Bailey, 30 Tappan Way. You said a gravel driveway. Does that, because it's not a gravel driveway, it's a road.
Allow paved road.
Well,
It's not paved.
Yeah.
It's
But
not paved?
It's not
It's a two lane. It's 2 lane. I wouldn't call it a driveway, but it's it
Legally,
looks like a road.
legally, it classifies as a driveway. It it is.
Is there a limit to how wide you can have a driveway?
Well, he's limited by his property line.
The plan calls for 14 feet. I'm aware that he's graded much more than that. I didn't measure the actual width of what he has compacted as a driveway.
So is there accountability just on that piece?
So
There's a minimum 16 feet.
is it? Okay.
12 feet plus
It's,
2 feet on either side
Fire department,
for the
isn't it?
fire department.
Okay, but back to these two plans. Clearly, we have two different.
You're
engineers.
welcome to look
No,
at
I'm
it.
saying I believe you guys. but-
Right. I mean, so logic tells us that one was done in January and one was done in April. It's entirely possible that the conditions on the ground differed between January and April,
No.
but without.
Well, and I would agree, yes, of course, because you could have different rain, different snow, different runoffs, I get that, but the vegetation would have clearly showed whether something was a wetland or not by what you were saying is the criteria for it, right? Like, I mean, I get all of what you're saying on that, but it doesn't make sense that once it in 3 months, it can become a wetland.
May I quote Dr. Skellinger? He said to me, he didn't like my engineering firm, apparently. He questioned it and said, I have the GSI maps or whatever they're called, and he said, wetlands just don't change. Am I right?
You're right.
You did say that.
I did.
So wetlands were there, and the only way they would be changed is if hundreds of trucks came in and he completely leveled the entire area of any vegetation. I don't see quite.
And I wish I had pictures to
I
show
know,
like all
I
the
wish-
trees,
yeah.
like behind your house.
I just don't get how
Thousands.
this scientist doesn't have that on the map. Because when you look at his map, Frank and us, we're looking at his
Of
map.
course, right.
We're not looking at your map.
Of course,
When we're looking at his
Yeah.
property, we're looking at his
Well,
map.
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
yeah.
And his map just shows the back of his property. This one?
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, but it makes no sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it does.
So this is-
at the January of 2023 because the.
When this was first brought to us through me, this was the map that I was referring to that we looked at. And the reason why I had originally responded back, basically, that our hands are tied, because according to this map, he's doing everything right. This map is saying that there is wetland in the back. This whole everything up here is wetland.
No
So
argument
yeah,
with that.
and then you can see here, there's the 50-foot line and the 100-foot line, and then he stays just inside of it. Like he literally is right up on it, but stays outside of the danger zone where we have no jurisdiction.
Yeah. He
But this map here,
Yep.
like I said, the reason why we originally were like, we can't do anything is because this map says we have no jurisdiction. We can't do
Why do you
anything.
have this one?
This one, on the other hand, I agree, there's a bit of a discrepancy.
However, you know our township. Or what are we?
Well, no, I understand
You
so
know
one of the
our
things I need,
town.
hold on, one of the things I want to say here is, first off, we're all volunteers. We don't do anything during the week. We have an agent who does that.
Right.
So when Frank, just like with the police, they don't go around knocking on doors asking any crimes going on in here. Somebody has to report it to them.
I understand.
So we also don't we don't just go looking at every single construction. Frank would need an army of Franks to actually stay on top of every single tree that gets cut, everything that happens. When we receive a complaint, we act upon it. However, the reason why we didn't act last time is because this up here says there's literally nothing we can do. We have no legal right to interfere with him at all because he's not inside of our jurisdiction. I agree with you that this map here and this one are inconsistent. This one over here indicates a wetland where the...
Our testimony doesn't account for anything.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Our testimony that he has. Why would hundreds of
Because
truckloads come
testimony from a person is useful. However, when somebody has an actual map that says clearly indicated that they're
in?
there,
Okay, but if
we
you
have to
have two and many people who witnessed this, I would think you would perhaps.
Well, we did. We sent Frank out to take a look at it, but that's the problem is that the area in question has been filled, so there's no evidence for him to look at. That's the reason why I assume Frank said, "There's how do I prove it?" And the problem is that it's Frank saying this area that's currently a driveway looks like it might have been previously a wetland, but this map right here just immediately stops him. That one right there is inconsistent.
And if we
Do we
follow
know-
the money, who has the most gain by going with that map? We have nothing to gain.
Do we know when he's?
Are you implying that the map drawer is?
I don't know. I
Which
can't imagine why,
before this.
if, as Dr. Skillinger says, wetlands don't change, and I'm clearly showing wetlands and they aren't, something is amiss.
Well, it's not quite that clear.
No, I'm saying
because this-
follow the money and that Perkins has everything to gain.
Mrs. Pritchard, you made your point. Mr. Perkins isn't here. We're not going to make this a personal
I was
matter.
speaking with Steve. He
No,
said,
you're
"Am I
speaking with the
implying
entire
something?"
board,
I was
but-
trying to tell him.
I am the chair of this commission. The conversation goes through the chair. Mr. Perkins is not here. We're not going to make this a personal matter about him.
I know you misconstrued. That's what I was trying to say. I'm just saying he has more to gain.
This is the first time in this context we've put eyes on your plan as it relates to Mr. Perkins.
Okay.
We are working through this
Okay.
collectively. I apologize that we are not full-time individuals that
No.
check on all of this. I understand your frustrations. We are not dismissing your frustrations. We are collectively trying to work through this in real time.
I appreciate it.
So, I understand. I respect your frustrations. I've been out there. He's done a lot. You're absolutely correct. We are trying to come to terms with this and understand what the best course of action is. Like I said, in real time. So, I don't know what caused the discrepancy here between the two delineations. Neither of the wetland scientists are here to offer their reports or observations, so I don't want to make this a he said, she said incident.
The problem is, with what's on the ground now, we don't have any way to tell where this goes.
So
I just find it interesting.
Traditionally,
that a wetlands
wetland scientists start at flag number
when you're
one,
saying it
right?
was covered here at the time.
One meeting.
You know what I mean?
Ed,
Ed,
please. I can only hear one person at a time.
traditionally a wetland scientist starts with wetland flag number one, right?
Yep.
Okay. So 1 and 2 are missing from this delineation. It starts at 3 and goes to 15, which would imply that 1 and 2 were somewhere else. Could we reach out to South River Environmental and see if they still have records of what they delineated?
We can do that. My belief is that we won't get any response. Mr. Zimmer doesn't. Mr. Zimmer sets flags, and then a surveyor goes out and locates the flags, and the engineer puts them on the plan. If the engineer or surveyor doesn't shoot 1 and 2, they won't show up.
Right.
And then
So
they'd
we
be kind
have
of
no
lost
way of
too.
knowing where they were.
You can see that they might not have, because the property in question didn't involve this side.
That's my concern with the dates and the times of this. If this wetland was really here, wouldn't those flags be in Mr. Perkins' driveway?
Those,
That's the impression that's given by
those
this, yes.
flags
So
are
I don't-
long gone. That's the problem.
What?
Those flags are long gone. That's
What,
the
I mean,
problem.
wetlands,
The flags on the other property are also.
wetlands flags don't last forever.
Right.
That's not
It's just
what we're
No, but that we have a situation of two delineators disagree, and then the delineator that made that map, all the people here are saying that they visually confirmed that they witnessed that the accuracy of that map. So,
Well, all we have is a short little section right here. It doesn't.
yeah, but
go
the
very
thing
far.
is, that section is literally like if
Right.
that wetlands is there, he's like 10 feet off it.
Right, but
If he's not directly in it, I don't know what the exact distance is between that.
Well, that doesn't really matter. He's definitely within 50 feet.
Oh, he's definitely within 50.
well, I mean, and it is a little worse.
Yeah.
What's that?
As in the wetlands would be.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, because you see that little
No, but I
bump out
mean-
right there?
From an
I don't know what the scale is on that, but it looks like that little tiny bump out, like this section right here,
Right along
he's
the
in the
line.
wetland, and then this whole entire stretch right here is in the wetland, and then until he turns left. Like there's a good.
Yeah,
What- I
saying
don't know
right
what
along
scale
his
is.
property line, right? Because it's right along her
That's
property
90 feet.
line.
Yeah, there's a good 80, 90, 100 feet, something like that section. This little corner right here, that would be either damn close to or in the wetland.
So when Miss Monroe reflagged the wetlands behind 64, how close to the property line did she flag?
my understanding was that she found what she could find. The problem is that when Mr. Perkins submitted his original plan and there was no wetland on it, he went
Right.
ahead and got approval to build. And so between that time and the time when Mrs. Pritchard came to us was 6 months. And so he obliterated whatever was in that corridor.
Right.
If there was wetland there, you will not find it.
Well, everybody agrees.
It's been
to that.
obliterated.
Yeah.
So if you went out there today and flagged the wetland, you would not find it.
You'd have to go by the GIS map.
Well,
Which is
The
So-
GIS map would not help you. The
Right.
GIS map has a wetland
Where
behind
it could be, yeah.
Mr. Perkins, and over here, there's a hole where Mr. Sace built.
It doesn't go as close to the lot line as her plan shows.
and the GIS is not gospel. That's why we don't use it.
No,
A
No, you
best
can't go by
guess.
So we don't really have a way to verify this one way or the other.
no.
But the thing that bothers me and I think a lot of the people here is it does seem a little backwards. That if you think you're on a wetlands, do the work and then ask for forgiveness.
Well, no, he got his delineation was 2 years before the work.
It was 3 months.
I thought it was 2023. He did the work last year in 2025.
Oh, it was 2 years before he got the building permit.
Yeah. He got a delineation. The delineation told him,
But you're
I can build
saying
here.
they're saying that he was filling this in for a period of time
July of last year.
After,
before applying for the permit by the sounds of things. You said it's been years. I'm not
Oh, yeah. I meant since the delineation told him that
right,
he's
but
okay.
I'm saying is if he's been filling the road in and filling in the land in preparation for getting a permit.
I don't
I
think
don't-
you have to get a
I don't
permit
think
to
so.
make a
No, he needs a permit to build, yes.
The driveway is not.
But that's where it seems backwards, at least to me, and I think to other people, is that do the work with the dirt, moving the dirt, and then wait a couple of years and get a permit.
I
and
don't
there's a
think,
good
I don't
chance-
think so. Ed.
You don't think
he
so?
did that.
I don't think you need a permit at all to put a driveway in.
Not to put a driveway in. I'm saying to build the house. The
Yeah,
permit
he can
that
start
had-
building the house
that he
there.
I
requested.
thought just clearing all that area.
I don't think,
That's why I live on
I don't think-
Kowalski on Partridge Way. But what about, he was still working on that house that he originally sold, and as he's working on that, he's also widening that driveway.
For years, you're saying.
Yes, as soon as he was the one that he sold already, no sooner, that wasn't even sold yet, and he was already widening and making that driveway.
when though?
You
When
know, I
was
was gonna
that?
say, I don't think we have a good, like, 'cause when did he actually buy the house, the original, the Wyman's house?
So
What
long
date was
ago.
that?
That was long ago.
Right, but how many years? Because I know, because
20,
I feel that's when.
20
it's-
or 21.
Yeah, okay, so I do feel like that has started before those, theoretically then. Because it started clearing out, right, like that thing between the two houses started going, it was definitely starting, but.
There's no, I don't see any way we can answer this question.
So the house doesn't really matter
Straightforward.
because it's not near the wetland. It's the driveway that's the concern.
It's the drive.
The driveway, the area in question around there was delineated in January of 2023. My understanding is you said that the filling and the clear cutting and the filling of that started in 2025 in July.
Well,
So
I don't know.
when did he start cutting down the
Oh, he
wetland
started
trees?
cutting down the trees probably when he moved in.
Yeah.
Right,
That
that
was
was
whole weird.
Prior, any concept if that was before
Do we
January 23 or
Oh,
Did we
I'd have to go back and see if we can.
yeah.
yeah? Because if he started doing, if he cut it down before his delineation told him there's no wetlands, that would explain why they found no wetlands. If the cutting down, as I originally thought, was just last year, less than a year ago, 10 months ago,
No.
then okay, so then I have things wrong.
On it since
Yeah.
he bought the property.
So
I'm
if
pretty
he cut,
sure he cleared most of it before the building permit was issued.
yeah, and
why
if that's the
I'm
case, then if there's a way to find out when he cut the trees down, if you cut the trees down prior to 2023 or filled the area prior to January 2023, that would explain why the wetland scientist didn't find it because just like you found a road,
But
not
still,
not wetland.
how would, and I agree with you on that, but the problem is why 3 months later are there wetlands there? Right, on the side of their property, there are wetlands there, so even.
Yeah, you're right.
You
You're
know,
right.
so
Actually, I take
something
my.
doesn't- Something, and
take
if
it
he's saying that you can't change wetlands in 3 months, that's something that doesn't jive between the two.
He couldn't have done the driveway before Mrs. Pritchard did her pool.
Yeah.
Before she pulled.
Yeah, exactly what she just said. You're right. I forgot. You're right to call me on that. So the wetland existed 3 months after his map said it did not. So,
If you
Doesn't
believe
make any
Morse.
sense.
well, yeah, then it just becomes,
Yeah.
on one hand, you get one scientist saying no wetlands, and the other one saying yes wetlands, as well as a whole lot of people saying that they agree with that guy.
Can we go back to, because before they had the house, obviously Phil Wyman had the house, and obviously his father had owned all of that land at one point, so if we could talk to him, if he had his delineations for his property, perhaps.
If he never did anything with it, wetland delineations aren't free. He would have paid thousands for it, so unless he planned on building, I highly doubt he did it.
There,
Which he may have, because I feel
There's
like there
no
were some
record.
times that he was thinking of doing things.
there's no record.
There's no,
No
okay.
record,
Okay.
yeah.
I've looked for
I believe that everything the Wymans did to that property was long before the Wetlands Protection Act was a thing.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I
Yeah.
just thought, maybe not.
And they used to say all the time not to let the kids go behind there and play because it's all wetlands back there. So, I don't know. They used to say that all the time.
I don't see anything. There's nothing here for us to
May I make it, or ask Dr. Scalinger? I remember you told me that Kevin Perkins, when he applied for the permit to build the home, nothing was mentioned even about the driveway. That he got, and this is where I'm thinking things get muddy. Because you said nothing came to your office about wetlands.
Are you talking about this most recent plan?
Yes.
Because the driveway's there, he's not changing the driveway, he's only
No,
adding,
I mean,
he's only adding the ADU, so the
Right,
driveway's
but-
done.
when he originally was getting a permit for that third house.
For the ADU?
No,
Oh, for the third
The
property?
main, yeah, the
Okay.
main house.
Don't even talk
Then
about the
it would have,
ADU.
yeah. But it wouldn't have, if Frank looked at this map,
Right.
it would say, no.
Right, well, that's what
It's not in our
he had told
jurisdiction.
me.
Well,
He
that's-
said, nothing came to my office because there were no wetlands on
There are
that
wetlands,
portion.
but he's not building in the wetland.
Exact, I'm only talking about
Yeah, yes,
the
yeah,
driveway,
yeah.
but, so Frank was never even brought in on it because nothing was shown,
Yeah,
so it wasn't sent to Frank.
right. So this, I'm assuming you look at everything, right? Even if there's wetlands or not, or do you not, if things,
I do.
but you look at it and you would look at this and say, no, it's
Right.
not, he's not
Right.
building near wetlands.
Right.
This,
He's pushing the limit, but he's not,
And that's why when I
He's not even
came,
pushing
I
the limit.
said,
He's
Right, you
he's
wanna say
going by the rules.
he's going by the rules.
If anybody in
but
town knows the rules.
he's at the limit, not pushing the limit.
I think Frank had a comment. What was that?
this house originally came up as a zoning board. They had to go before ZBA in order to get permission to build this house. And so,
The original house.
the one in the back.
Okay.
And that notice came to the office with that plan. And I said, okay,
Yeah, and understandably, you took one look at the plan and said he's outside the buffer.
Right.
Nothing to do. Okay.
Right.
And because these are two distinct properties, two distinct plans, you don't say, oh, let me look at the neighbor and see if the neighbor did X, Y, Z. And oh, what about this neighbor? And what about the, it's,
Right, I think the only concern I have is what she went back before, when she said, like, she was putting in a pool, she had nothing to gain from whether there were wetlands or weren't wetlands. But if you wanted to buy a property and add 4 houses to it and sell them off, there'd be more of a reason to have a specific, and I'm not, I'm not trying to But it doesn't make sense why hers wouldn't, like, she has no agenda on hers whatsoever, right? Like, so.
And the
fact that there's
scientists
two
don't
different-
have an agenda either. That's the.
Yeah, they're third-party scientists. They're not.
Okay, all right. It
If
just
they
bothers
think
me,
it's all-
and again, like I know, and you have
Yeah.
no way to look at it either. But it just bothers me. How do you have if the goal is to preserve wetlands for the sake of wildlife environment? How do you have two completely different things looking at that area? You know, that seems odd.
Well, two different scientists came up with two different conclusions. Is what it comes down to. If one of the obviously they can't both be correct, but the problem is how do we prove without the physical evidence?
I get it, yeah.
So, TJ, the question is, what could be done now?
Yeah.
We're not gonna fix history. What can be done now?
Well,
My personal opinion is that if a wetland scientist goes out there to reflag it again on Mrs. Pritchard's property and Mr. Perkins' property, it will not find a wetland within 100 feet of his driveway. That's just my personal opinion.
So, I mean, I think what I'm.
So I don't know what you can
Exactly.
do to satisfy Mrs. Pritchard.
I think what I'm struggling with here is that the plan that Mrs. Pritchard gave us for her projects shows a wetland delineation that would be within 100 feet of the driveway. Mr. Perkins' original filing does not. Miss Monroe's revised delineation appears to only be on Mr. Wyman's property and not on Mrs. Pritchard. Well, sorry, I think Mrs. Pritchard's daughter is the actual homeowner. But there's no delineation of any wetlands on that property. So if the presumption is that the flagging on Mrs. Pritchard's property was accurate when it was done, her wetland flags go all the way up to the edge of her property and into Mr. Perkins' property. But this was the one that Miss Monroe redid, and all her flags, save for this lone one here, are on Mr. Wyman's property.
And she's right.
They're behind your property, her property.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think the argument is that there's not also wetlands on Mr. Wyman's property, but
So this is
question,
Richard's
let's
property.
just
one at a
say-
time. One at a time.
This is Wyman's. This is hers.
Okay.
Mr. Hill.
So this is showing. I'm just asking the question: is this kind of showing that it wouldn't encroach on the neighboring property to the left if these flags are correct?
That delineation puts Mr. Perkins' work outside the 100-foot buffer, correct?
And this was from Brook Monroe also.
Correct. And that's from this spring.
That's okay, but you didn't continue down.
Right. Those flags that you're looking at are here to the north of Mrs. Pritchard's property.
Yep. Because this makes me think there's nothing wrong with this area of his
Well,
property.
that's what they say on this one.
Right. I mean, that's got this on it.
Which,
That's got the back.
to be fair, South River Environmental probably wasn't concerned about where the back of the wetlands are because it didn't have anything to do with Mrs. Pritchard's project.
Because
They were concerned about where it was in relation to her proposal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it just, like looking at that line that comes down to here approximately on Mrs. Pritchard's property, when Mrs. Pritchard's property was flagged, it showed wetlands here, which if this is wetlands, this is within 100 feet.
And again, you folks
Well, here's the
are
100-foot offset right here.
volunteers.
That's the 100-foot offset from these flags.
From those.
Back here, right.
So
Puts this driveway
according to that,
outside
he's
100 foot.
building.
Correct, but Miss Monroe did not flag anything on Mrs. Pritchard's property. when Mrs. Pritchard's property was flagged,
Right,
the flags went all the way to that west property line.
right.
So even if, unless the flags on Miss Miss Pritchard's property are wrong, if this is wetlands on the west side of the property, it by default has to be within 100 feet of the driveway.
Right. But that's in conflict with this. So we'll
So
be back
so
where we
three
started.
scientists.
No, it was Miss Monroe twice.
Three delineations.
Yeah, where was Miss Monroe on this one and that one?
Correct. Miss Monroe did both the Webby
Okay.
delineations.
So
Sorry, I cut
let's
you
say
off.
let's just say if somehow omniscience struck us and we were able to say the one that says there is a wetland is correct. Do we even have any recourse at all, or is he just going to immediately lawyer up and say my scientist said it's not? Leave me alone. Like that's what it really comes down to. Is that even if we were to do anything, if we were to act, let's just say somehow we all just 100% agreed that it was wetlands were filled and so on, and we filed an enforcement order. Is he just going to turn around and say, "Here's my thing that says from a scientist that says not, and therefore you have no jurisdiction," and then that's the end of it?
Well, Frank already covered that by saying if you go out there now, you won't find wetlands there.
So I
So,
understand that, but you
Gentlemen.
cover up a crime. That's
gentlemen, we can't speculate on what Mr. Perkins would or wouldn't do. And respectfully, how Mr. Perkins or any other property owner responds to our efforts should not dictate how vigorously we enforce the Wetlands Protection Act and the town bylaw. That being said, the problem before us is that we have two incompatible sets of data.
yeah.
And so,
And we have a room of people that seem to think that right to the right of his road, I'm not sure about to the left, but to the right of his driveway is very wet.
But by the same token, we don't have any party that explaining the other side either. So
Correct.
right now, it's a one-sided discussion.
Yep. That's why I'm wondering if we need to make it a different, like continue with
well,
more
it's not a
people.
hearing, so we're not
Make it
necessarily,
Right.
like, there's nothing to continue per se.
Right.
We're not under the, like, legal obligations of a hearing, because it's not a proposal. Kind of the corollary to this would be that both Miss Monroe's original delineation and Mrs. Pritchard's delineation are now more than 3 years old. Not by much, but if kind of our standard and the DEP standard is that it has to be within 3 years, then I don't know that everyone can necessarily defer to the plan in front of us.
But wetlands don't change, right, Frank?
The legal requirement is within 3
You
years.
can't find a wetland under his driveway.
Well, I understand that, but
But I think the question is not whether you can X-ray through his driveway to find a wetland. The question is whether there's a wetland within 100 feet of the driveway, because his plan says no, and Mrs. Pritchard's plan says yes.
So do you want to have a third delineation?
Can we?
Yeah, but how can you delineate a wetland that doesn't exist anymore?
So again,
Like
we
you said,
can't delineate in the driveway,
100
Yeah.
feet.
but if there are in fact wetlands up to the edge of Mrs. Pritchard's property,
Right.
like, Mr. Perkins has done a lot of grading work out there. It's
I understand.
some might even say jarring.
Somewhat.
But it only goes up to the edge of his property.
So that would be a
So
matter of
if-
verifying that that is actually a wetland.
Well, that would imply that there's a wetland there right this minute on her side of the line.
So if her leftmost side of her property where it butts this driveway is wetlands, I think.
None of us are wetland scientists. We
Right.
can't legally delineate a wetland.
Right. But having a third party go out and confirm.
Not confirmed. Do.
Redelineate.
Redelineate.
It has to be, it's 100 feet, is that the buffer?
So
Yeah.
anything within 100 feet falls under the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission. Anything within 50 feet, you need a variance to do
Any-
to disturb it. which does not mean that we don't approve projects within the 50 feet, just that there's more
Sure.
environmental care and usually mitigation of some sort to help protect the wetlands. Because in general, our goal is not to be punitive or preventative of projects. It's to make sure that the environmental resources are protected. But I think at this point, the only way to try and square this peg and round hole would be another delineation.
You'd have to delineate this too, or at least part of this.
Right, someone would have to walk Mrs. Pritchard's daughter's property
And Wyman.
and the one. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names.
We'd have to go, we'd have to basically redo this. We have to redo
Mrs.
this.
Pascoe's property and the Wyman property and presumably Mr. Perkins' access portion. We haven't seen anything to indicate that there's wetlands to the west of the driveway.
Stacy's.
Oh, Stacy's? Oh.
Hers is even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Hers is worse.
There is?
She's not
That
here.
thing floods like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, so hers is worse.
Because if there's wetlands on both sides, we're going to need to assume.
Well,
How would they miss that?
wetland and wetlands are not necessarily the same.
Right. We need
We
wetlands.
need someone to go like just if she has like drainage flooding, that's inconvenient. It is not legally protected.
Right.
So that does need to be reviewed by someone who is an expert and reviews soil composition and plant life.
Well,
Before we-
basically, we need to go from here down to somewhere in here.
Yeah, I mean someone's gonna because this is the back of Mrs. Pascoe's property.
That's this.
Correct. So someone's gonna need, presuming that you're amenable to someone doing this.
Who's would pay for that?
Well, that's the next question.
I don't know, what does one of these cost?
A lot.
Sorry.
What does one of these actually cost?
Hundreds.
Well, it cost me thousands to get my pool.
How about to have an engineer then map it, right? We'd need an engineer to come out to locate them.
We have to get it flagged and then we have to get it,
Yeah.
Well,
And we're not just
The first thing you'd want to do is flag.
right, you gotta flag it.
If you want to have a record of it, then you're going to have the surveyor look at it. But
Which that probably depends on what
if you
we
go,
What they find.
what we get for flags.
yeah, if you go out there and look at what the wetland scientist flagged, you'll have an answer. Then the next thing you want to do is document it. Okay?
Can I
And so you're going to have to pay for the delineator.
Right.
And then if you want it documented, you have to pay for the engineer,
Right.
surveyor.
Right.
Okay? And at this point, I don't think Mr. Perkins is going to pay for it. I know that Mrs. Pascoe and Mrs. Pritchard aren't going to pay for it.
I
so
already have paid for it.
if,
No, a new delineation.
if it's
That's
going,
Let-
if it's
let the-
going to be
Dr.
done,
Kellner
we're going
finish.
to pay for it.
So, I mean, this problem's not going to get solved without some clarity. So I think we have to hire a delineator as a first step.
To delineate these
What-
two and this one?
No, not this one. We have to get it down here because we're trying to figure out where the wetlands is and where the 50
So-
foot is.
Right, but I don't know if we need to
But-
do this one too.
Hold on, let you.
We already know we're not gonna find it there.
We know we're not going to find it in the
We're
driveway.
not gonna find it here, so there's no
So I'm
sense.
saying to the other side of the driveway.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
If we're hiring a delineator to go out there, they need to delineate whatever wetlands are applicable to the project.
Right.
Yes.
Whether that is east or west, or technically south. Like the other side of Tavern Way is within 100 feet of the street frontage. So whoever we hire to go out there is going to have kind of a long walk.
I agree 100%. We keep talking about these two scientists coming up with different things. Is one of them similar to GIS, or is GIS like
No.
totally a third, not even related to any of the lines?
No.
The GIS is not surveyed.
Yeah,
I know that. I know
that's
it's
based off
just
satellite
it's a
maps.
best guess type thing.
That
but
should
I'm
never
wondering.
be-
But it's heavier on the guess than the best.
Yeah. Okay. It's a guess. But what I'm saying is the guess leaning towards one of them being more accurate?
No.
No, not really. I mean, it's hard when you look at the GIS because there's no.
No boundary.
There's no property lines. It's not super recent, so like the land clearing isn't all like you can pull up Google Maps and see the land clearing because the satellites go by, 100 times a day or whatever it is. If you pull up the GIS for this, as some of us in this room have,
Right.
there's no like all you can really see is the street.
Yeah, none of that's
The
going to be
street.
on it. None of these lines.
Well, you
are
can
gonna
see
be on
where wetlands could be.
it. Right, but you're not going to be able to tell exactly how they relate.
You
to
don't see
property
his
lines.
property line.
You don't see property lines. You don't see the clearing associated with the project, and there's no like measurable scale, so you cannot verify like distances. So the GIS for our purposes, other than like a overview of maybe there's something back there, is not
Maybe you should
particularly
look.
useful, and that's why we tell everyone don't
And
use it.
neither one of those are GIS or whatever.
No, these are both wetlands delineators.
These are two different scientists that have delineated, to be fair, different pieces of property.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't actually know either of these people. I've never discussed this with them. I can't speak to how their thought process or what exactly they were paid to do is. So, I think
we
I
need to
imagine
make a
you can handle hiring a delineator for us.
Well, it won't be either one of these two.
Right.
No, it'll have to be a third party.
But will Ken Thompson do it?
Ken or Brad.
I was just saying, I only know one wetland scientist, and I don't think he wants to take that hike.
No. Yeah, I think we need a motion to do it. We can talk until the end of time here. We're not going to solve this. Looking at this.
No. So in that case, the chair would entertain a motion to authorize the conservation agent to contract with a wetland scientist to delineate any and all wetlands applicable to the project at 72 Tavern Way, map 101, lot 6A-8.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion on the motion?
that's going to be paid for out of our
Yeah.
budget. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have to get on the agenda to follow up, or what are our next steps?
Sorry, we're going to vote this first before we
Yeah, oh, I'm
forget.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes unanimously. You presumably will see whoever comes out and flags behind your property. And then we will, either the office or I will be in touch to let you know when we're planning to discuss it again.
So we
I don't
have their
know.
contact information on the sheet.
Yeah, I mean, they've left contact information. I know where they all live, worst case.
We'll be in touch.
It's not that big a town.
No.
And I will run the resume by Mrs. Pascoe and Mrs. Pritchard.
Oh, who you're gonna use?
Yes.
That would be great.
So,
Thank you.
we appreciate you all coming in this evening.
Appreciate your time.
We apologize that we're not able to put this to solution this evening.
You took it seriously, thank
But
you.
we do certainly take the concerns of the public and of wetland protection seriously and want to make sure that everything is being done on the up and up. And as we have mentioned, we're all volunteers, so we appreciate everyone who does share this information with us. And then I don't know how fast we'll get somebody out there, so I don't know if it'll be the next week. I imagine we'll be discussing this with some. Next week looks like a bad time to be in the woods. Yes, I imagine it'll be one of the meetings in June, which are the 1st and 15th, right? Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, it'll be the 15th.
Do we put us on the agenda, or again, how do we? I just wanna make
No, we'll put it on the agenda whenever we have a solution, and either Frank or I will reach out, and then the agendas are posted on the conservation website if you feel like checking.
Okay.
And also, if you see not just this property, but anybody doing stuff that you think is better to let us know sooner, rather than later, so we can go out and look at it. Because, like we said, we're not, we probably wouldn't even go out. We're just.
Right. I mean, I think we all know that there's a lot of wetland in Hanson, and most of the dry parts have already been built on. So we have a lot to keep track of, and appreciate you all bringing it to our attention, and apologize for you having to spend 2 hours here tonight.
Mr. Perkins either. It's just we need to figure out what happened down there.
Right. We need to make sure that the environment's taken care of, and that that there's no negative effects to the environment at large or your neighboring environments, and that the legal requirements of the town and the Commonwealth are upheld. I will make one request before you leave. If you did not sign the sign-in sheet, please put your information on it so that
What's better, email or phone number? What do you guys?
Yeah, we can just get their contact info.
either or,
Okay. Thank you.
but just so we can stay in touch with everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, proposed dock bylaw. So moving along with the agenda, proposed dock bylaw remains pretty much a placeholder, right?
Yeah, it's just,
Okay. Nathaniel Thomas Mill conservation restriction. Our illustrious conservation agent and Mr. McFadden have been furiously emailing back and forth that the encroachment has been removed, and Wetlands Trust has come out and verified that. So now they record,
the conservation restriction has been signed.
and we record, or they record.
We will record,
So that is hopefully finally put to bed.
yes.
Master plan quarterly meetings, I will openly admit I've dropped the ball on. We will see who is the new planning board chair following Mr. Campbell's retirement, and see if we get anywhere with that. So I will try to update for June 1st. Conservation regulations, same. I've dropped the ball on, and we'll try to be better. Conservation property list. Did you discuss I guess that's acquisition. Conservation property list. Did the
Woodbine,
governor's?
we talked about Woodbine and we talked about
No,
Eversource, right?
property list is the governor's
Yeah.
signature.
Did the governor sign that yet?
Oh, that thing.
Not yet. I sent an email to Senator Brady, but I haven't heard back.
Okay. Open space acquisition and protection.
Yeah, that's
So Eversource has sent us the deed to that parcel. So it is now in town ownership, correct?
Well, tomorrow night I'll go before the select board to get them to
Vote to accept.
accept it.
Ed, make sure that happens. Yeah.
I don't know.
And then we need to be on the October town meeting warrant to put it in Chapter 97 protection, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when we in a few months say, is there anything we need to put on the special town meeting warrant? Somebody try to remember that we need to put this piece of property on there to put it in care and custody of conservation. The parcel from town meeting,
it got voted in.
it did. Do we take that vote and record it the same as the rest of the properties?
We will. But we should do something more than that. Because we have no good title search for that property. It's a bunch of town tax takings that were put together into one big package called Lot 4-3, and the deeds are very messy. So I would recommend that we get a title search. I would also recommend that we walk it so that we know what it looks like.
Okay. What's the title search on us?
And we're probably in the end going to need to survey it, partly because I think there's some encroachments on it. And we also have to be aware that we just took on another ATV problem.
Yep.
Nobody gave us any warning that they were going to give us this, and we might not have wanted it had they done that, because apparently some people use it as an ATV course. It's a set of old bogs, and so there are dikes all through there. And so they've probably been used as ATV trails. So that's what we're up against. When we get the vote, I will record it. That's what the town wants.
It's a little bit like the Smitty's early. Back in the day, there's a lot of that at Smitty's too.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of an issue. Smitty's is better now than it was 5 or 6 or 8 years ago. But anyway, we got it anyway.
So as far as walking it, maybe you want to set up times when you could go out and take a look.
Where's the street access?
Hancock, right at the end of Hancock Street.
End of Hancock Street.
That you'll see there's a couple of pillars, and it looks like it used to be like an entrance to it. And that's the easiest way to get in. There's 3 other places, but that's the easiest one to just walk.
Yeah, you
over.
don't want to use the other 2.
Yeah, the other 2 are a mess. But that one, there's a few vines and things, but you can get through there. There's no place to really park, but I think you can just kind of park there. You can park at Hancock Field, just walk down, actually.
My brother-in-law lives over there. I'll park at his house.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to get into it. There's another entrance off the end of Samoset, but that's all. I don't know how you'd find it. I tried to find it. I don't know. Hancock Street's the way to go.
Okay.
Is there paths at all, or
Yeah, it's wide. It's open. It's like Smitty.
it's right at it's right there?
Yeah.
It's a retired bog.
Yeah, I mean, but getting there is.
There's one house lot in. It's one house lot in all the way around.
Okay.
There's one house lot, and the old woodbine runs on the far side of it.
So we own access to it at the end of Hancock?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
across in somebody else's
Yeah.
path?
No,
Okay.
No, it had street frontage.
there's no house there. There's an access
Okay.
point.
Okay.
It's kind of an interesting set of properties. There's one little piece in the middle
Yeah.
of it
Right in the
that
middle.
belongs to somebody else.
I think there's a
In the
shed.
middle of
I
ours?
think there's a
Right.
shed there.
Right in the middle of it.
It's the one piece that somebody must have been paying
Maybe
the
we can
taxes
buy
on.
him and we'll have
It's
a
what does it
shed.
look like, Frank? It's
Maybe
like
we can
about 100
buy
square
a shed.
feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the size of this table.
So I don't know if you could hear Dr. Kellinger's report that it wasn't originally one parcel. It's a bunch of pieces the town has taken for tax title and combined.
Okay.
And this one piece in the middle's got to be the 1,000 square feet that somebody kept the taxes paid on.
Probably.
And they tell me that the taxes are up to date.
Really?
So somebody
It's like
wants
a
that little
summer
piece.
camp right in the middle of it.
And wetlands because it's a bog? What happens with that?
Well, that piece is probably not wet.
No, I probably, well, except at the Monponset end, but yeah.
Okay.
Right. It's all swampy at the lake end.
And somebody just mentioned Old Woodbine runs
Yeah.
along the
That's the west.
top of it, west side.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that we own that,
No.
except that since it's a private road, we probably own to the middle of it,
Right. If we can find it.
if we can find it, and that's the purpose of doing a
So you
survey.
want
I didn't walk in, but I went in everywhere I could to look at it as best. I wasn't dressed for tramping around in there, but I got a pretty good look at it.
It's pretty open.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, so the chair would entertain a motion to approve the conservation agent to hire, is it a lawyer or is it a title search specialist?
an engineer, or do we not need an engineer?
Title searcher.
To conduct a title search for the aforementioned property map for lot 3?
Map to
Map to
lot 4-3.
Lot 4-3.
So more.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, motion passes 4-0-0. Any updates on Hubble?
No. It's still with legal.
Yippee-ki-yay.
According to Lisa, she was going to pick it up again after town meeting. So presumably the next time I talk to her, she'll have
But we wouldn't want to rush the legal process.
All right, anything else under open space acquisition or protection?
No.
Okay, moving along to property management updates.
Yeah, not a lot. All the trails have been cleared as far as winter debris and all that, so they're all walkable. So now we're in the kind of maintenance this season. Bonnie Hill Trail Meadows perimeters were mowed a couple of days ago, so they're accessible now. AMC went up and cleared the far end of Smith now Wazowski out to Hudson Street. Steve Smith and I had already cut a trail in there, but they went and swept it, picked up the trash and cleared it up. And I fought with the neighbors, so everybody's unhappy up there. What else? Woodbine. I do have some Adopt the Trail people picked it up. One gentleman's going to take care of Rocky Run. Somebody else is doing Smith now Wazowski. 2 people volunteered to step in and keep track of Smitty's. Four Meadows, somebody's picking the trash up at the parking lot and along the road. I don't know who, but they're doing it.
I think it's the sawmill people.
I don't know who it is, but somebody. And Webster Billings is always wonderful. I think I know who's doing it, but they're not coming forward. But so we have Adopt the Trail people on those, even though we don't know who they are. But I have a question. The steps over at the mill, especially the last step, it's rotted badly. Somebody's going to take a header off that step. I talked to Marcus about it, and he was well aware of it. And his point was that if they improve, I asked him about the Boy Scouts or the mill committee. He said they've already looked into it, and the feedback they've got from I don't know who. It was a brief discussion. Was if they repair it, they have to bring it up to accessibility code, which means a ramp. And he just threw out to me that they got quotes in the $100,000 range for a ramp in there.
Is that true?
Well, I don't know that, but expensive at any rate.
No, I mean, is it true that you can't repair?
Well, I don't know that either, but that's why I brought it up. Because
it's a certain percentage.
Here's the thing. I think we need to fix it, or somebody's got to fix it, or we need to close it, because somebody's going to fall off that step. The edge of that step is totally rotted. It's all just loose, and somebody's going to step there and they're going to take a header. So I don't even know who's really responsible for it, because it's not part of the CR. I don't think, is it?
No, the building is excluded.
Yeah,
the building
so
and the parking lot were excluded.
it's a potential. I don't want to overstate it because it's not like in your face, but it's a potential risk spot. So I'm not sure.
Is Marcus on the commission?
He's the chair.
He's the chair of the town council committee.
So I don't know the answer to your question about that, but I think it needs to be fixed. At least that step, at the very least. The rest of it's a mess too, but that one is just ready to go. So I don't know what to do.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't think a repair triggers the code.
I wouldn't think so either.
If you improve it,
Yeah.
you need to.
And even that, you have to do a certain percentage.
Yeah, but it's like 20%. It's not very
Like
high.
20%, but one step isn't 20% of the mill.
Well, I say one step's ready to go.
Yeah.
There's 2 others that are shot to hell, and there's also a small barrier of pressure treated or whatever, landscaping ties.
You're making this grow.
Well, I mean, to repair it would be more
You wouldn't
than just
repair it,
fix that
yeah,
one step.
yeah.
You'd have to fix 3 steps as well as a section of retaining wall. I mean, it's not a huge
What's the
project.
retaining wall made out of?
Same thing,
Wood.
6x6s. It was not a big project. That's why I mentioned it to Marcus. It'd be an ideal little Boy Scout thing. But anyway, you can see that there's issues around it. And so I'm not sure what to do about it or how much we care about it even.
It has nothing to do with us, though, right?
Not directly, except several.
We
To
own
this
it.
board.
The mill is
We
in
own
the
it.
care and custody of conservation.
Yeah.
The mill, it's the
We own
building?
The property, the building, the whole 9 yards belongs to this commission.
Okay.
We, before my time, created a Thomas Mill Commission to take it off our plate, but it's our responsibility.
Right. So the answer informally that I got from Marcus was it was going to be a big project and they can't afford it. I don't know how true that is or not. It was just a brief conversation. He was in a hurry. But it needs to be fixed.
Marcus wants it to be a big project. The Mill Committee wants the ramp.
No.
They had a design all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
all
what he told me. He said it was going to cost $100,000 to do it. So, at any rate, I bring it up because it's a dangerous situation. So I don't know what to do.
Fix it and play
And
it.
I'm assuming that these whole stairs would be taken out if they did the $100,000.
Well, they put a ramp.
project.
They put a ramp in.
But there would be stairs too.
No, I don't think so. I think,
Really?
I don't know. I haven't seen the plan. Have you seen the plan?
I believe, as I recall, to fit the ramp, they wipe out the stairs.
That would make sense because there's no room there.
So everybody uses.
That's part of the problem, is that you're trying to fit a lot of ramp in a small space.
They were gonna go down the side, come back up.
And several switchbacks.
Well, you have to do that because of the grade.
Right, you can't.
But
It's
there
1 to
was-
12.
they were gonna keep the steps,
Oh, they were? They go around on that.
but then the ramp would go down.
The ramps have to be 1 to 12.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it was gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, I bet it
Lots of
was.
stone and
Yeah, yeah. Well, it makes sense. 100 grand probably is right then.
why don't we just hire Ed Sheen to go in and do it?
Well, that's, oh, well, we don't have the money though.
No?
I don't think we do. We have a secret pile somewhere. Oh, just fix the step, you mean, not the ramp.
The steps are probably a couple hundred.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not much of a job.
We could force the issue by taking it out of the Thomas Mill revolving fund. Or we could take it out of the conservation fund. There's money in both.
Yeah. Well, my recommendation is that we fix it.
If we take it out of the Thomas Mill revolving fund, then Marcus has to sign up.
Well, as I said, I didn't have a formal discussion with him. I just threw it out there. And he had already thought about it. I didn't know they already had a plan. But
There's a plan that we've been talking about for at least 3 years.
I think that's what he was.
Because everyone is like you saw what it took to get 30 grand to put the wheel back
I
after
know.
it was already built. It's like, we're not going to get 100 grand.
No. But
Masterpiece.
the implication he had, though, was that if we fix it, we have to bring it to code.
I don't
Well,
know if that's right.
I don't know. I don't
You-
either. But
You could close it
right,
and force
As
that
the
issue.
building inspector.
That would force the issue.
right.
Do we have one?
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
we do. Part time.
I mean, it would bring it to
Right.
other people's attention.
Well, I'm bringing it up because I think it's important. We need to do something. Either close it, fix it. Obviously, we don't have enough money to do the big project, but I don't think that gets used a lot for all these different little art fairs and all that stuff, and it is dangerous.
Ask the building inspector for one of them.
Well, I didn't say anything to anyone else except to bring it up at the meeting here because I didn't want to start a ball rolling that we didn't want to roll. So I wanted to see what consensus we have on
Yeah, I
it.
kind of wish you kept this one in your back pocket.
Well, I know, but still, it's got to be talked. It's got to be brought up. Some people complained about it to me. That's how I found it.
Don't put this part in the minutes.
Build a bog bridge across it.
Why don't we just go to the Kevin Perkins School and build it and ask forgiveness?
Well,
You're still on that.
my conclusion was it needs to either be fixed or closed because it's not safe the way it is.
Are you looking to fix it, or you want to hire somebody to fix it?
Well, I mean, I can add it to my list of things to do, but either way.
The chair would entertain a motion to authorize the property management coordinator to coordinate a estimate and hiring process for repairs to the stairs at the Thomas Mill.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? We're not broke, right, Frank? Okay. In that case, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining?
Right, let me
Passes
ask
unanimously.
Ron. I'll ask Ed. I can ask Ed. I don't think Dan Dill will want to bother with it, but I can ask Ed and Mike Callahan see if somebody around wants to do it. Worst case, I can do it. It's just it'd be easier if somebody has a small machine. They could pull it out, build a thing, and then backfill it.
Try not to spend all our money at once.
Yeah. The other thing I just wanted to mention, Erica made copies of pictures I took down at the bridge crossing. It's somewhat irrelevant because we don't have to own the property yet, but just to demonstrate what's going on.
Oh, I saw the email.
Yeah. It's gone from a 24-foot span with two 16-foot ramps to, I'd say, about 100 feet.
And what changed? Is it the the berm or whatever changed? It washed out, or it got created, or?
It was an old water. It was an old water course. It had a water control device. It's still there, but it's been decommissioned. But then what's happened since then? It's still in there, but there's no dam. It's just a structure. But since then, people eager to get across there have been through. You can't believe the amount of wood that's in there. There's all kinds of saplings and brush, and you name it. You can look at the pictures.
I saw.
And so what it's done is it's created a dam.
But if taking the dam out will not, we can't get it back to the way it was easily.
No, I'm just demonstrating.
We can't anything. It's not
No,
ours.
it's not ours.
I mean,
This is the main. This is that water control thing is here.
Okay.
It's become a dam, which
Yeah.
created a pond. Originally, the pond was about 20 feet across.
Yep.
I was going to span that and then put ramps to get off it.
My worry is that is it going to get worse?
Well, it's already getting worse. And this is now not as deep as that, but this
Yeah.
is probably 6 to 12 inches deep now. And it goes back to here. So it goes from here to there.
Wow.
I'm estimating it's about 100 feet now. So anyway, not that there's anything we have to decide. I'm just giving you guys a phrase that at the rate it's going with the attorneys, this is going to turn out to be the Zachem Bridge to get across there. But plus, once we get across there, the causeway is flooded too. So
But we don't own that.
no, the state
And will not.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to AMC, talk to Amber, and she's trying to get the grant for the boardwalk at Poor Meadow right now. But I'm going to talk to her because she's been down there and looked at it too, and just throw it into Bay Sugar Trail and AMC, and let's say, what do you want to do about it? Because there you go, and see what happens. So that's just an FYI. There's nothing to vote on or decide. And I'll take care of that step over there.
What else you got?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh no, one more thing. Did we ever get to hear from that forester?
I haven't contacted anybody yet.
I think you had a call to that guy Jim, didn't you?
He didn't call back.
Yeah.
So I have to call him again.
So we're trying to get a forest plan for probably, what do we need, town forest maybe? Smith Nowozelski and West of Dole, I guess.
Yeah.
We need a 5 or ideally a 10-year forest plan for those properties. Anyway, Frank and I are working on it.
In our packet is the.
I do have one thing related to property management. I'll be quick. I was contacted by Bonnie Henderson, who has helped us with the bluebird boxes.
That's her name.
Yeah, Bonnie. Yeah.
Yes,
Bonnie
okay.
Henderson.
I was going to ask you, thanks for bringing that
Yeah.
up.
So her and her friend Susan, whose name I forgot the last name of, they clean out the bird boxes
Right.
and monitor them for us, which is nice.
This year, we'll get them cleared.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it now because the birds are in there.
Yeah, the birds are in there right now.
But I'll be more attentive to it this year.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. They go out and clear them out at the end of the season.
No, I know. No, I mean, we didn't mow up to them.
Oh, yeah, the lawn, sure. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the inside. You got to clear the old nest out at the end of the season.
No, yeah, but we didn't mow the meadow.
So the update is good news, bad news. Good news, we have bluebirds.
Yeah, I've seen them up there.
Bad news, we have vandals. Two of the bluebird boxes are just gone completely. They're just not even there anymore.
The Bonnie Hill?
No, the Bunny Hill ones are fine. It's
I
it's
just space two up there.
Yeah, Smitty's. So there are three missing in total. 2 bluebird boxes. The only 2 that I did not put in the bog are gone because those ones any idiot can just walk up and decide to chuck them in the woods someplace. They're probably someplace. Somebody probably just picked it up and yeeted into the woods.
The big one on the pole is now. So
The big one on the pole is the third one, and that's the one that I'm devastated about because that's the one I paid for out of my own pocket, the Kestrel box.
plus it's way up there.
And that one, somebody had to have gone out of their way to be a jerk because that thing was held in by like 8 deck screws.
Well, it was high, too.
It was 20 feet in the air.
Right.
Me and my brother did some very dangerous, I don't want to say in front of you without insurance. We climbed up there on a ladder and put it 20 feet in the air, which is what they want.
Yeah.
Somebody pulled down not just the box itself, but the actual, like the 2x4 that we had attached it to.
Yeah.
It ripped it right down.
I know.
So they
And-
went
and-
up 20 feet to do it.
No, I think that they just
Proposed,
threw rocks at it until it came down. They shattered it.
Yeah, it's wrecked.
It's on the ground still. I left it there because
I left it there, too.
Yeah, it looks like not only did it come down, but somebody probably put a foot to it.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I have no idea why. but that was the one that I really liked the best. So I'm kind of pissed
Probably the
about that.
same kids that cut the trees down.
Well, no, they're
The
special.
rest of the Bluebird boxes are not accessible to the casual vandal. It would be somebody who has to go out in the box. But the ones that were outside, somebody going by on a dirt bike could have just simply give it a smack and knocked it over. So I will not put them where they can be easily accessed. The rest of the ones in the box, though, full Bluebirds.
Yeah.
So
But Bonnie Hill, so swallows
Yeah.
and blueberries both up there.
yeah, well, that's why they're in pairs because Bluebirds hate Bluebirds and swallows hate swallows. So you
I
get
was
two
up there
boxes.
last week, and there must be 8 of them up there. Pairs. Yeah. They're all over the place.
Yep. Yeah, you'll notice that in each pair of 2 boxes, one's a swallow, one's a bluebird.
Yeah.
They love having the opposite for a neighbor, but if you put 2 bluebirds next to each other, they fight.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, big success on them.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Three vandalized, but the rest is fine. And I don't. The 2 that were vandalized, they weren't in a great location for. If I put them back up, they're just going to be vandalized again. So I'm just going to let them win, I guess. And the Kestrel box, I'm going to buy one out of my own pocket and climb back up there and put it up there because it pisses me
The
off.
same place.
It's the best place for it. It like for various bird reasons I'm not going to go into right now. That's an amazing spot for it.
Can we stop vandalism in any way?
No, but I can put one back up there, and then if maybe I'm wrong and just a freak gust of wind knocked it down, but it literally looks like somebody kicked it. But I'm going to buy one more out of my own pocket and go put it up there myself.
How much do they cost?
About $60. Yeah. Oh well.
You can put in for reimbursement for it.
No, it's just on
Say,
principle.
you can-
I bought the first one because we were only doing blueberry boxes. It's just on principle. Like it pisses me off that somebody smashed that one. That's the one where
Were there
my
birds
own
in it?
personal. I wanted a kestrel.
Was there any birds? We didn't have any.
No.
That's a little bit.
Well, it looks like they smashed it over the winter. So
All right, continuing on with property management, in your packets is the drawing for the Home Street access that was surveyed by Mr. Anderson.
Yep.
And I did notice that he has flagged,
It's flagged.
the corners.
It's flagged, and they get a little bit of encroachment from the neighbor. Not too bad.
So we now know our exact 50.13 feet.
Yeah, 30 feet in the far end.
Oh, it narrows to 30 feet. Oh, yeah.
But there's not much we can do about it. It's wetlands, too. I mean, I don't know what we can do with it in the short term, if anything. Highway's going to take down those dead ash trees. That clump of them with 4 trunks together. They're
Yeah.
going to take them down. They're not going to take them out, though. They're just going to cut them and leave them. They asked me if that was all right. I said, yeah, why don't you just leave it for now and we'll deal with it later. He said if we need to get them out, he'll bring the front end loader up and pull them out for us. Let's ask them all the time.
How close to the road are the wetlands?
20 feet in. Ken Thompson, he didn't flag them, but he went up and looked at it. He said 20 feet in, that's wet.
Tough to put a trail.
Yeah. I mean, there's a trail of sorts there you can walk through, but it's not, for public use.
All right.
We'll have to think about that going forward.
And then maybe not strictly speaking property management, but given that that's where we spend the majority of our money, in past fiscal years, the town has utilized a portion of the notice of intent fund to pay the conservation agent's salary. This year they did not, because the conservation fund didn't ask for any money. So rather than give us money to replace money is apparently how Eric looked at it. So there is no money coming out of that line this year. As I recall, that is for the enforcement of the Wetland Protection Act, and perhaps could be used to pay for things like wetland delineation if someone is encroaching on Wetlands Protection Act.
Yeah.
Depending on what exactly is determined, but in past years they've taken $12,500 from that to offset the agent or the salary line for the office, and this year they did not. So, and I actually spoke to Lisa and Eric and confirmed that. So,
That sounds like an oversight.
no, it was done on purpose because we didn't have an article in for money.
Oh.
which I think might represent a misunderstanding of the different conservation funds, but that's
Yeah.
it's a separate question. I guess we should go back to minutes. Yeah, good call. So the chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of April 1st.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. I wasn't here.
Patience. The motion passes 3-0-1. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th.
So moved.
Second.
What happens if the two of them vote yes and Ed and I both abstain?
Still unanimous.
Sure.
Abstention still counts towards head count.
Works for me. So we had a motion
Yeah.
and a second.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved 2-0-2. Enforcement order, 159 Lakeside Road. Hit us with your best shot, Frank.
159 Lakeside Road is the place where a fellow from Milton and his son have been dropping buckets full of plants and other things, other debris of some kinds. And I previously told him that he had to clean it up, and he didn't. So I gave him an enforcement order, but I failed to get you all to ratify it. So I had to reissue the enforcement order, and it's here for your ratification. He's due to have the cleanup done by June the 4th, and I told him if he doesn't have it done, I'm going to give him a ticket for $300. I've also told him that it's possible for me to give him a ticket every day that he's in violation, but I haven't gone that far yet. So,
What's he doing? He's just bringing plants out and dumping them there?
Well, no, you have to kind of go down and look at it to appreciate this.
Well, it says flower pots, but it sounds like
that's what they
it sounds
are.
like he's dumping buckets of like dead plants or something.
no,
No.
they're alive.
They're flower pots.
Come on over, Steve.
You gotta come over. Yeah. TJ's got the.
Come on over.
Oh, you have pictures of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was trying to picture
You
what the
have
heck
to
he's
see
doing.
it to really appreciate it.
Is that right along the street?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no house.
No house.
Oh, what the hell? Can you zoom in on that?
Gil had a refrigerator taken out.
Oh, no, that's a lot more than flower plants. You undersold it on the order.
So it's all back through the woods.
That's a freaking trash heap, is what that is.
It is.
Yeah, basically.
There are some flower
And
flower
some
pots along the
actually
street.
growing.
There's some.
Yeah, no,
some-
I'm ready.
Right. I think we'd probably let the flower pots slide if it wasn't for everything else.
I've seen enough. I'm prepared to vote on that.
Right. So the chair would entertain a motion to ratify the enforcement order prepared by our conservation agent.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Mansfield, seconded by Mr. Heel. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion passes 4-0-0. Last thing on the agenda, we'll go quick because I didn't really expect for this to take as long as it did. I assume most of you also probably got this email from Mac.
Yep.
But the Mass Ready Act or the Environmental Bond Bill has some provisions in it that would counteract the local wetland bylaws, as well as perhaps impact funding under grants and such from the environmental and impact exempts certain housing projects from local wetlands acts and stormwater. So,
But this was coming.
I would encourage you to reach out to our legislators. If the board as a whole wants to communicate, I think we need a vote before anything was sent.
I would suggest we do something, but I
Yeah.
don't know how the rest feel. This can't go.
No, I'm amenable to that. After just reading only the first page here, I agree that that should come officially from the board.
Okay.
Is there somebody that could write something that we could review at our next meeting, or just
may
choose
not-
one of these?
It may be too late by the next meeting.
Right, there's a
When is it
timeline on
voted?
this.
It's before the House right
Oh.
now. The Senate already approved it.
Oh, jeez.
I think there was a date. There might have been a date in the actual email,
I think there was.
and I don't think it was very far away.
No.
The MSMCP proposed a letter that you could just fill in.
Right. Yeah, just go on the website.
If you got the email, there's a link to a draft.
Right.
There's not a date, but I think I would be inclined to probably just use Mac's conservation draft letter and sign it on behalf of the commission.
Oh, yeah, that's great, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think there's no need to reinvent the wheel, because they're not actually going to read it. They just need to hear from people that are opposed to it.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, they even have on here, it's a suggestion that we send it as a commission.
So the chair would entertain a motion for the chair to contact the appropriate legislative representatives on behalf of the commission in opposition to these amendments as drafted by Mac.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Mayfield, seconded by Mr. Heel. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, that motion passes unanimously. I would point out that does not preclude you from reaching out as an individual if you're so inclined,
Yeah, would you mind forwarding the email? I didn't get it.
or spreading
I
that
didn't get it.
information to anyone else you think might be interested. Anyone else got anything before we pay the bills?
Ah, yes. No, I was saying yes, bills.
I don't have anything in here, do I?
How would they pass
I don't think so.
away all local regulations? It's like
Oh, no, you don't.
2/3 yeah, 300.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
This is just part of the MBTA thing.
Yeah, well, see, it's all going sideways. It's all going sideways.
So this is saying like,
This all goes back to last year when the governor wanted to start
she
pushing.
wants to shut down all the local bylaws so that everything's state level.
Yeah.
But we're a
Right.
home rule state. That's nonsense.
Who's getting business cards?
I did.
Property management coordinator?
Yep.
Attaboy.
Ooh, fancy.
I ran out of my own little homemade ones, so I had to just print out a bunch.
Somewhere in my office is a stack of ones that Lon had printed for me when I became chair. I think I've given out one of them.
I'd probably given out 50 of them forever. Someplace.
Yeah, but you're out in the world doing stuff. And somebody says, "Who the heck are you? What are you doing?" And you give them a card.
You know who I am.
About a Kennedy thing?
So I always get
No, that's it.
Yeah, I always get
John Kerry.
the fun people walking up to me.
Oh, it's
you know,
Kerry?
they-
Yeah.
Dave just looks trustworthy, I guess.
I get a lot more questions about the school district than I do
I'll
about.
bet you.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'll bet you do.
Also, what's the deal with the school committee? Like, it was just running unopposed. Like, wasn't that like contested with like multiple candidates when you ran?
There were 3 of us for 2 seats when I ran,
Oh, okay.
and I defeated.
I thought it was 3 for 1
No,
seat.
nobody wants it.
The guy that I defeated actually just ran for Don Ellis's planning board seat.
Oh.
So I guess he missed local government.
Seats. What's it called? The seat's too spicy now. Nobody wants to run.
A lot of people have a lot to say. Not a lot of people interested in putting the time in to try and fix it.
Oh god, you can have fun with that one.
It's not fun.
That one seems like you just go there and get yelled at by people.
Which one is that?
School committee.
Oh, yeah.
Discretion being the better part of valor, I'll refrain from any further comment in an open meeting.
Okay. Good call.
Goodness.
We got a lot of bills. We got to meet more often. Nothing on how many bags.
Back to that again, huh?
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint you, Dave. Do we need to sign anything for the enforcement order?
Yes, you have to sign it.
You have one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last one.
Underneath your
Enforcement
signature.
order.
Underneath your signature.
How long ago did you give him the original enforcement?
The original letter went out in March.
It was the
These
second
days
one.
got nothing
for
about it
April.
since.
I'm sorry.
I was just curious, like the original one that you sent to him, it was in March.
The letter is attached to it.
Was
Do you
that?
have it? The letter is attached to it in the.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Should have dates.
No, I'm just wondering, like, is this guy's basically just ignoring you?
He's had plenty of time to make a difference if he wanted to.
Oh, he went to Florida for some reason and had some family issue, and so he couldn't get to it.
No, if you can hire a guy. Like, I get it if you're busy with something, but you can hire a cleanup crew.
The original one that I signed went out first week in April with a deadline of first week in May.
Yeah, that's why I went by when I did.
But then I found out that I had to have it ratified in the April 18th meeting. And I didn't do that, so that made that first one void. So I reissued it the first week of May, due first week of June.
Thank you. All right, the time being 8:34 p.m., the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned.